If you're ready to fill your one-to-one program without a big launch, without all the guesswork, and without trying 1,000 different strategies without knowing what is actually gonna get you results, this is the video for you because I'm gonna share with you today 5 strategies which are working right now for me and my clients in signing one-to-one clients consistently and filling your one-to-one program really simply. After $200,000 in one-to-one sales alone, dozens of client wins, almost hundreds at this point, I have tried all of the strategies. I've been there and done that with every single strategy everyone talks about to sign one-to-one clients. And there are a few which are really standing out to me at the moment, which are working so well in 2025 right now to actually sign one-to-one clients. Me and my clients are all utilizing them, and I want to share them with you today. Now, I wanted to sit down and film this video in particular right now because I have recently seen so much advice going around on the internet of how to sign one-to-one clients and how to get particularly those high-ticket clients, what it takes, what people think is the best strategy. And from my experience working with literally hundreds of clients on this exact issue, this is what I have found to work really well. And the funny thing is, it's not these big launches which everyone is saying to do. It's not these really complicated funnels. It can be really simple. And sometimes it's these simplest things which make the biggest difference in the number of one-to-one clients you are actually able to sign. So I wanted to share with you today some of those things which, as I said, me and my clients are implementing right now and are seeing huge successes with. So make sure you watch the whole of this video so you do not miss any of these 5 strategies, because these could honestly be the game changer for your business that actually gets you consistent signing high-ticket clients. And make sure as well you stay until the very end to see how I would apply these strategies to your business specifically. So without further ado, let's dive into these 5 strategies. So strategy number 1 is go all in on selling your one-to-one for 30 days. And actually do it for real this time, because I know before you have probably told yourself, yeah, I'm gonna sell my one-to-one. I'm gonna talk about this for the next month. I'm gonna have this as my big focus for May, for example. But actually, what we've done so many times is we've kind of half talked about it for a week. No one really reached out. So we thought, okay, people aren't interested. Then we jumped to something which felt a little bit easier. And most people just don't talk about their program enough, to the extent that a lot of people in your audience probably aren't even aware that you have this program or what it can do for them. So there are ideal clients sitting in your audience right now who don't even know that this is the perfect program for them. So actually just talking about it and making that a goal for yourself of, for 30 days straight, I'm gonna talk about this program and just this program. I'm gonna really focus in on selling this specific offer, and I'm gonna talk about it everywhere to make sure that the problem isn't awareness, that every single person in my audience knows what this program is, they know how it can help them, and if they are the right fit, they then have the opportunity to actually reach out because they know that this exists and they know this is the perfect thing for them. With this, we really wanna focus on selling the transformation, selling the result in particular. This is the area to really focus on talking about when you're talking about this offer for a month, because realistically, if you haven't spoken about your one-to-one program much, then you just suddenly throw in this, by the way, you can work with me one-to-one, as a lot of people will do. No one cares at that point. They don't know what your one-to-one program is. They don't know why they should even want to work with you. They don't know how you can actually help them. So actually explaining those things, actually sharing that transformation and that result, and again, doing that consistently for 30 days, for real this time, actually sticking to it, not just dropping off after a week and deciding that it seems no one's interested, because especially with these high ticket programs, people need to see it even more times than they do that $50 course, for example. They need to have that repetition to actually start thinking about this investment, because it is a bigger investment. So even though it looks like no one's signing up when you've been talking about this for 2 weeks, people are paying attention. That's exactly what we want. So let's actually give it some time. Let's give it 30 days and talk about your offer every single day consistently for 30 days and see what happens. Now, an absolutely perfect example of this is one of my clients who committed to talking about and selling just her one-to-one offer. So this was her big focus for a whole month, and she did exactly this challenge of, okay, I'm gonna just talk about this offer, really focus on getting clients inside this program in particular for 30 days. And she signed 6 one-to-one clients in 14 days. 6 clients in 2 weeks for her one-to-one program, because she was so focused on it. She wasn't selling this and something else. She wasn't deciding that, okay, I'm not gonna talk about it today because I don't feel like it, or because I spoke about it yesterday and I feel like I'm being repetitive. She was consistently talking about this program, consistently thinking in her head, this was the top of mind thing for her that whole month of, okay, how can I get more one-to-one clients? Who can I reach out to? What could I talk about today? What could I maybe post today towards one-to-one? This was her full focus for 1 month. And this is what happened, actually getting 6 clients in 2 weeks. And that is the power of just this consistency and this hyper focus on this one program. So commit to giving this time. Give this a month. Be consistent and have your goal be that every single person in my audience should know exactly what this program is, exactly how it helps people, and be able to decide whether it's a fit for them, because I guarantee most people in your audience probably aren't even aware of some of those things right now. So let's build up that awareness and give them a chance to even say if they want to sign up for this program or not, because they know that it exists finally. The second strategy that I'm seeing working so well right now for signing one-to-one clients in particular is creating some hand-raising content and then having a clear pathway after this. So by hand-raising content, I mean anything which essentially gets your ideal client to put up their hand and say, hey, I'm your ideal client. I am struggling with that certain thing. I'm looking to achieve this goal. I'm your ideal client. This can be anything on any different platform, from getting people to comment a keyword, from utilizing a poll, from having a freebie that they can then request to download, from a free masterclass, literally anything that is essentially getting someone to put their hand up and say, yes, I am wanting that specific thing. Now that alone, just that piece is so helpful already, because it allows us to see who our ideal clients actually are in our audience, who is paying attention, who is thinking about working with you. That gives you the opportunity to see those things so clearly. Then when we add in these clear pathways after that, what I mean by that is we have a really clear next step. So it's, for example, they download the freebie, then we're going to reach out and share that there's an exclusive offer for that freebie for the specific program, or they can schedule a free discovery call, etc. But there's a next step from there. It makes it so easy for you to actually firstly converse and actually have this discussion with this person, because they've reached out about this freebie. We're not just sliding into DMs randomly. We actually know this person is looking for this specific thing that the freebie helps with, or has voted and said this on a specific poll. So it really opens up a really natural conversation there. And also, if we've got those clear pathways, it gives people a really obvious next step. And your decision there is just, okay, what is the most natural next step towards working with me? Sometimes that is fill an application, book a discovery call. Sometimes that is you're going to get a discount straight away. Here you can book an intensive session. Whatever it is for you, having that next step, clear pathway after that hand-raising content is so amazing, because it creates this mini but really simple funnel for you of actually the game is just, okay, let's talk about this hand-raising piece of content enough. For example, if it's a freebie, let's make sure I'm really sharing the heck out of this freebie so everyone who is an ideal client for this would actually download this. And then from there, we just give them that next step. We just present them that next step, and we just need some of those people to jump into that next step, and then they'll sign up for the one-to-one after that. So it creates this really simple funnel for you, but actually being able to create those different options for pathways as well is so helpful. Of not seeing it as, okay, I need to have one and I'm just going to stick to that and just keep doing that until it works. If you're doing something new and you don't know if it's going to work, try several different ones. Put out a few really simple freebies and just see what sticks, see what lands with people. Again, for all of them, the call to action, that next step, that clear pathway can be really simple. It can be book a discovery call to work with me and talk about working with me. And you can put out those few different freebies and just see what sticks, see what's really landing with people, and then focus your attention on the one that is doing the best there. This is also so helpful from a mindset perspective, because I feel like one of the biggest sticking points I see in clients who are looking to sign one-to-one clients is that feeling of nothing's happening. Just because we know it takes a little bit longer for someone to decide to work one-to-one with you, it's typically, sometimes can happen of course, it's typically not this really quick decision of, they found you yesterday and now they're deciding they want to work with you. It will often be the case that you are speaking about this program for a little bit before someone actually signs up necessarily. And that's not a problem. It doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that the decision-making process is happening behind the scenes and we can't see a lot of that. And this strategy really helps, because it kind of brings a bit of awareness to that of, if someone is watching your content and they're thinking, I love everything this girl's talking about, I love this transformation, I really need this in my life, but they're not yet at the point where they're fully sold on one-to-one and working with you, dropping a freebie can be so helpful, because it gives them a chance to put up their hand and gives you a chance to see who is potentially interested, who are your clients of 3 months time going to be essentially. And this is so helpful from a mindset perspective because we can see that momentum. Then we can see that, okay, people are interested, people are paying attention, people are watching. This is what they're attracted to specifically in terms of the messaging because this freebie did really well. It's helpful for you to just stay in the game and keep feeling like there's that momentum when sometimes otherwise it wouldn't have been seen yet. Not that it's not happening, it just hasn't been seen yet because it's so behind the scenes and it's just very much inside people's heads that they're making those decisions and being nurtured towards working with you, but we just can't see it. Now, a great example of this is a client of mine who focused on this strategy for literally just 1 week. So she decided to implement this for 1 week of using keywords specifically in her content to reach out if they were looking for a really specific thing. So she really got her transformation of her one-to-one, made this hyper specific, nailed this down into a really no-brainer sentence essentially for her ideal clients, and put this out in her content of the keyword, message me this if you are wanting this certain transformation, if you're wanting to do this certain thing because I have something for you. And then she had 4 discovery calls booked in 5 days from her audience just from doing this. She hadn't had a discovery call booked for a few weeks before that, but she booked 4 in 5 days just from putting out that really specific hand raiser that made it really easy for people to reach out and just say, hey, I am interested in this, I'm curious about this, and then booked 4 discovery calls as a result. A third strategy for signing one-to-one clients in 2025, what is actually working right now for me and my clients, is one of the most underrated things, but one of the easiest possible to do. And it's so funny because so many people skip over this. So many people just don't even think about this and don't even think to look here, but actually this can be one of your most effective ways to sign clients because it is literally proven. And that is looking at what works for you and your business specifically. By that, I mean, let's do a little audit. Let's look back over the last 2 clients you signed, the last 5, the last 10, and see why did they sign up? What was it that actually got them off the fence in terms of the strategic pieces of what you did? Was it I put a keyword in my comments? Was it I shared about I was, taking one-to-one clients right now and opening discovery calls and I used this wording specifically? What is it that has worked well for you? Is it that I did a masterclass? Is it that I had a certain freebie and that worked really well? What worked really well in terms of the very practical sense? And then also, why did they decide to work with you? If you don't already have this information, please go and ask your past clients and your current clients why they decided to work with you. What was it that made them hire you specifically? Because this is such great information. For example, with me, I constantly hear from my clients that the reason they've decided to work with me is number 1, my testimonials and my client results. So that tells me I should be sharing more testimonials and more client results. And then secondly, the personal kind of connection that they feel like they had with me because we were able to have a really good conversation. I really got to know their business. Again, that speaks to the depth of one-to-one programs and why they're so effective and why I focus in that specific area. But actually seeing why people signed up in terms of the practical sense, the strategic sense, and also what was it in terms of the feelings side of they felt trust because they, could see a lot of client results. They felt like you had worked with a lot of people similar to them, etc. What was it that got them to sign up specifically? Because this is information we can use because it is literally proven for your business. So all of these other things I'm telling you, they're options of what could work really well for you. And I've just seen the trend of they are working really well right now for the majority of people. However, this is the one that is literally proven for you, your business, how you work, your specific program, your audience. This is the one that is already proven. You already know it's going to work, right? So actually then taking a look over what has worked already really well for you and just having the strategy of doing more of that. If you can see that actually all of my clients in the last year have come from free masterclasses that I've done, how about we do some more free masterclasses because we can see they're working really, really well. So let's reuse the most popular topic and do another one of those. Let's, increase the amount of masterclasses we're doing from 1 every 6 months to 1 every 3 months, for example. Now you can look at this in so many aspects as well. For example, you can even look at what types of content have worked well for getting me clients. What platforms have most of my clients come from? If you can see that I'm on Instagram and Facebook, but actually all of my clients have come from Facebook recently, okay, great. Let's spend some more time over there because we can see that's working really, really well, whatever you're doing over there. But essentially, you just want to have a look over any patterns that you can see and find any common threads of this thing is working really well, and then double down on doing more of that thing. For example, one of my clients, she was working 6 days a week when we started working together and wanted to cut this down at the same time as growing. So this was one of the strategies we really utilized with her of actually what is working for her. We managed to cut her work week down from 6 days a week to 4 days a week. She was having 2 extra whole days off every single week. And at the same time, she signed 6 one-to-one clients in 6 weeks. So in a month and a half, she'd added 6 new one-to-one clients to her roster. And this was about $3,500 every single month of extra income for her business just from these new clients. And she was only able to do this with actually working less and making more at the same time and being able to still sign all those clients because we were really focused on what was working. We took an audit essentially of where her time was going, what she was posting, all the content that was going out, where her time was going essentially. And we looked at where had the clients come from and realized that actually some platforms we didn't really need to focus on as much. So we were able to cut those. Other ones we could see that these specific things really worked well for getting her clients. We were able to increase those. And we just shifted the balance towards focusing more on the things that were working and less on the things that weren't really getting results as much and where people weren't really coming from. Now, before I jump into strategy number 4, I wanted to share as well, I put together recently a completely free Google Doc sharing the 5 strategies that I utilized last year in 2024 to sign $69,000 of one-to-one coaching clients. There were 5 main strategies that I utilized. I broke them down for you exactly what I did, what actually got me all of those clients. That shares some amazing strategies in addition to those. So if you're wanting to sign more one-to-one clients, you want to get your hands on this, I will put the link below for my Instagram. If you go over to my Instagram and just DM me the word funnels, then I will send that straight over to you. There is no opt-in required whatsoever. I'll just send the link over. But as I said, go to the description, DM me the word funnels on Instagram, and I will send the link straight over for that. Now, going into strategy number 4, that is one which is something people actively avoid a lot of the time, but actually works so well. And this is getting hyper specific around the messaging and the transformation of your one-to-one offer. Now, this isn't saying we need to dilute this down and say, I only do this one thing, but actually getting specific in terms of what is the transformation and what people are going to achieve through working with you inside your one-to-one is so powerful, because so many people, so many of your competitors will actually just be posting and saying, if you want to work with me one-to-one. No one knows they want to work with you one-to-one if they don't know what this is actually going to do for them. So get clear on what is that transformation, what is that high-level result they're going to achieve through working with you. For example, with me, the transformation inside my 6-month one-to-one coaching program is building a simple and successful business. It's allowing you to work less while you actually make more and make signing clients, building your business really freaking simple. It is building up consistent high income months. It is building that sustainability into your business, and it's just simplifying your strategy. So the how of how you're getting there and achieving all of these things and getting this really exponential growth is so much simpler, and we're able to grow so much faster because we have simplified everything. So that is the transformation of my one-to-one. What is the transformation of your one-to-one? And can you make sure you're really focused on talking about this? And again, get a bit more specific on, if you're a business coach, it's not just I help you to grow your business. Every business coach does that. How do you do that specifically? What's your specific angle? What's your focus? What are the main things you work on with people? Share those things, because that gives people a reason to even start caring when you're talking about your one-to-one program. It gives them a reason to pay attention because they can see the transformation and what this is going to actually do for them and their lives. This is so powerful as well, because this is what makes people feel like the offer is a perfect fit for them. We don't want something which is just super generic and makes them feel like, well, I do want that, but I'm not really drawn towards this specific offer. I can kind of do that with anyone. Actually being a bit more specific and going that layer deeper means that we can really make it a perfect fit. We can make it something which is a complete full body yes, which is a absolute no-brainer for your ideal client, because we know they want that exact thing in that specific way. For example, with my clients, I know that freedom is a huge value of theirs. They want business to just feel less complicated, less messy, and less hard, essentially. So actually for my clients, it's not just I'm going to help you grow your business, it's I'm going to help you grow your business, but do it in a way that is simpler than even what you're doing right now. So you're actually going to be working less than you are right now, because we're just being more focused and effective with where your time and energy is going. So you're actually going to have more of that freedom, and at the same time, your income has increased and it's more consistent. So again, we're creating that freedom and sustainability where your income is really stable as we're increasing it as well. A perfect example of this is one of my clients who, when we started working together, she was not getting any leads from Instagram, was not getting anyone reaching out, and we really refined her messaging. She was still posting the same amount as she was before, she was still doing the same things, but she was just having clearer messaging and it was so much more specific. And when we did this, when we made the messaging specific, literally a month later, this client signed 3 one-to-one clients in 24 hours, leading to a $2,500 cash day in her business. Again, this was from Instagram, where this person literally less than a couple of months before had said to me in her onboarding form that she does not get leads from Instagram, doesn't get anyone reaching out. All it took was that shift in her messaging to make it hyper specific and make it really intentional and strategic to allow her to get all of these leads suddenly from Instagram, from the audience she already had before as well, and actually get all these people reaching out and get them signing up as one-to-one clients, because suddenly this offer feels like a perfect fit for them just because we've shifted the messaging there. And then finally, the 5th strategy that I'm seeing working so well right now for signing one-to-one clients in particular is actually utilizing what I would call taster offers to actually convert into your one-to-one. So these are mini offers. These are things which are kind of a dip your toe in the water thing, where you can someone can really try out what it looks like to be in your space, work with you, get a little transformation, just have a little taster essentially before they commit to jumping into your higher level one-to-one. And this is so helpful because we know, as we've said many times in this video, that actually it can just take a little bit longer in that decision process for someone to sign on to a high ticket one-to-one program in particular. And actually knowing this then, it's really helpful to think about how can we just speed up and accelerate that process. If we know that if we just posted our regular content, for example, it's going to take someone 6 months to sign up with us because we can see that most of our clients started following us 6 months before they started working with us. If we can see that, okay, great, how can we accelerate that a little bit? And some of the great ways to do that are just through these taster offers, because it just nurtures people so much faster. If someone was just lightly thinking about working with you, then they jump into this taster offer, they straight away get to establish, do I actually like this person? Do I find it helpful working with them? Did I get a mini light bulb moment or transformation inside this mini offer? Did I find it helpful? Do I want to continue working with this person? It answers that question so clearly and so quickly as well. So this is a great way to just accelerate that process and, cut it from, okay, it's taking 6 months for someone to then sign up after following me, to actually maybe it takes 3, maybe it takes 2 weeks, and you can really cut this time down. So these are so effective to use. Now you can do this in so many formats. It's essentially just anything which is a really small investment. It can be anything. It can be, $50, it can be $200, something which is much smaller than your one-to-one program, but it just gives people a little chance to put a little bit of money into investing with you, see what it actually looks like, see if they enjoy the experience, but it feels like kind of a no risk because it's really small compared to the one-to-one is a bigger decision for them. So this can be anything like a one-to-one intensive, an audit can be a great one, having a small challenge or group experience. For example, with me, I did the sales challenge last year, which was a 90-day program. Anything like this can be so helpful to use there. And not only is this a great experience to actually be able to give them a result and show them what it looks like to work with you, show them what a container with you even looks like, but also it really opens the door to discussing working further, right? Because if they're inside a intensive with you, it's very natural to say, hey, do you want to upgrade to the full one-to-one package? And it just opens those conversations in a really natural way that if they hadn't signed up for an intensive would be kind of weird if we just randomly had that conversation with them when they hadn't given us any signs that they were interested, right? But if we've had an intensive, it's really natural to say, I would love to continue working together. Here's where I see the potential for us working 6 months together. Here's what I would do with you. Here's what we would focus on. Here's what I think we could achieve together. Are you interested in that? And then we can really open the conversation in just a really natural and authentic way. So these taster offers can be so great to just bring people into your space. Again, with a clear plan though of where does this lead to one-to-one. There's no point in just for the sake of it throwing something out that has no connection to your one-to-one whatsoever and just cross your fingers and hope that people are just going to jump into one-to-one from there. Create something that you know is kind of a step one towards helping people get inside your one-to-one. For example, with me, intensives are great because they solve that very first problem people are having, but then at the same time, it kind of reveals a lot of other things of, okay, I need to work on this area also needs fixing, this isn't working anywhere near as well as it should be. So then it reveals a lot of other things. So a 6-month program then makes a lot of sense after that. Same as with the sales challenge. Actually, I know that the biggest obstacle all of the time for people jumping into something high ticket is, okay, I want to get some sales first. Okay, great. Come and join the sales challenge then. And we can get you some sales over these 90 days, get you some mini results. So then you feel confident investing in something like a 6-month one-to-one program with me. Now, a perfect and very, very recent client example of this from literally last week when I'm recording this was one of my clients. She has been promoting audits and has been doing some audits with people. So she booked 4 audits, and at the time that I had written my notes for this video, she had signed 1 client as a result, but she literally just messaged me last night to say she signed a 2nd client because she's had that 2nd audit, and also has booked a 5th audit as well. So she's booked 5 audits, has already signed 2 one-to-one clients. Again, some of these audits haven't even happened yet, so the number could be much higher for sure when you're actually seeing this video, but it's really just the power of having that mini taster experience, right? Of she's already out of those, I think 3 she's done so far. She's booked 2 of her one-to-one clients there. 2 out of 3 of those people have decided to work with her longer term just because they've been in this container where they got to experience what is it like to work with her one-to-one. And it is so, so powerful for this reason. Now, before we take this to you specifically and talk about how, okay, we've got all these strategies, how do I apply this to my business specifically? Before we talk about that, I wanted to share with you how we can jump into this further and really personalize this for your business specifically to actually get you not just signing one-to-one clients consistently, but fully booking out your program to the point where you're actually starting a waiting list because the program is now so in demand. And the place for that is my one-to-one coaching program. So this is a 6-month experience where we will work together to build your simple and successful business. So our goal here is to get you working less, but working 10 times better and just more efficiently in your business. So you're getting better results from every minute that you're putting into your business. We are here to build you consistent clients, consistent income, and just get the strategies and the time you're already putting into your business actually working and getting you big results. So you can really grow fast because you are not being weighed down by all these extra things that are just kind of time wasters, getting you just really focused and being able to grow really fast as a result of that. So if you're wanting to grow your business in 2025 with freedom and simplicity at the heart of everything and actually create the business that has been on your vision board for probably forever, of a business that feels really simple to run, it feels really streamlined, and at the same time, it's hitting all of those income goals, and you know how to get to the next income goal really simply because the strategies that you're using are actually working towards that. I will put the link below for my client testimonials page so you can read through about 20 client testimonials, including videos as well, so you can hear from my clients and their experience working with me. But I would love for you to apply to my one-to-one coaching program. If you've been at all curious about it, you can schedule a discovery call with me down below. On this, it is a completely free call. Schedule it for whenever works for you, and we will essentially just chat about if it is a good fit for you, chat about where you're at in your business, what your goals are at the moment, where you're perhaps looking for some coaching and looking for some strategic support. And again, just if this is a good fit essentially. So they're super fun conversations. I literally only have, because I've signed 3 clients over the last month, I only have a couple more spaces for the entirety of the summer for my one-to-one coaching program. So make sure if you've been thinking about it at all, if you're even just curious, go ahead and schedule a discovery call at the link in the description. And I very much look forward to chatting with you about your business, getting to know more about where you're at and see if we could be a good fit and how I could potentially help you grow this. So then getting into that final question of, okay, these strategies sound great. How do I implement this myself? I would say pick the ones that feel most applicable for you and your specific business. I don't know what industry you're in. I don't know what stage of business you're at. Just watching this video, could be any, but pick the ones that feel most applicable for you in terms of, again, that question of what has worked really well for you. What do you know is going to be effective? For example, if you know that actually I haven't really been speaking about my program that much, okay, great. Please take strategy number 1 and set yourself that challenge to speak about your program for 30 days straight and see what happens. If, however, you can say with actual confidence and clarity that actually I have been speaking about my program and I have really been talking about it a lot, but I'm just not seeing people sign up, go ahead and make that messaging more specific. Play around with the messaging and see what's gonna land there. And also utilize some of those hand raisers because I think they're so powerful there. But essentially just have a look through each of those and see, okay, what am I currently doing? Maybe if I'm doing any of those already, where have I not tried any of these, and these could be an interesting one to explore, and really just customize that of, I'd say, pick at least 2 of those strategies to try out in the next 30 days. And again, the nice thing about having lots of different strategies available is that it gives you lots of different options, and I want you to go ahead and pick several of those. We're not putting all our eggs in one basket here and just crossing our fingers and hoping for their best, because that is not a business strategy over there. Again, as I said, these are all proven. These are all things which are working right now for me and my clients, but to make sure they definitely do work for you, let's pick several of these things. Let's try several, knowing that some are gonna work better than others, but we don't know until we actually try them out which ones those are gonna be. And again, if you want the list of the other 5 strategies I utilized last year to sign $69,000 of one-to-one coaching clients in 2024, then go ahead and go to my Instagram and DM me the word funnels, and I will send over that Google Doc straight to you so you can see 5 more strategies to choose from as well. So I hope these strategies have been super, super helpful to give you some inspiration for just what is working today, right now, to actually sign one-to-one clients in your business. If this is a goal of yours for 2025, I would love to chat with you about how I can help you make this happen 10 times faster and 10 times simpler as well. So I would love for you to go to the link in the description and schedule a free discovery call with me where we can chat further about your business. And again, I only have a couple of spaces left in my one-to-one program for the entirety of the summer because they've been filling quite fast recently. So go ahead and schedule a call if you're at all curious, and we can chat about if this is a good fit for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this has been super helpful. If you have enjoyed this and you love these strategic breakdowns of just what is working right now in business, please go ahead and give this a like so I know that you want to see more of these videos. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss the new videos every single Monday. And on that note, I will see you in the next one.